Hey guys, we're gonna make our money jar craft. First I'm gonna show you our supplies, and then we're gonna get started. So the first supply that I'm gonna show you is some tape. So I'm using tape. You can use glue, tape, whatever you've got that can keep something stuck onto a jar. Speaking of, we're gonna use a jar. We've got ball jar here. You can use a pickle jar, a jar, maybe a spaghetti. Your mom and dad or grandparents made spaghetti and there's an old jar that you've rinsed out and cleaned out. You could use that. I'm using the lid of the jar here. You don't have to use the lid if you're using an older jar that had food in it. You don't use the lid, but I'm using the lid. You need a writing utensil. And then the thing I love most about this is it asks for a craft foam circle, but I'm not going to use that because I don't have one. What I love most about this is you can use scrap paper. I've already used part of this paper, but I'm going to use it because I can. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to think about what do we want to save money for. So it asks us in the instructions to use a ruler. I don't have one. Frankly, I just don't usually have one at home. Charlie probably has a measuring tape, but we don't need a ruler. We're just going to label our jar with what we want to save for. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a rectangle out of my paper. So I can draw one or I can just eyeball it. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, just the best rectangle I can come up with. Rectangle has how many sides? 4 sides, you got it. So I drew a rectangle, 2 short sides and 2 long sides. So there's my rectangle. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut that rectangle out, doing my best to stay on the lines. And then on this rectangle, you're going to write what you're saving for. So I'm going to write on here what the Allen family is saving for. We're going to go on a trip, hopefully, to Disney World coming up soon. So I'm going to write Disney trip because we want to save all our money for our Disney trip when we go see Mickey Mouse. So you're going to write whatever you're saving for. Ask mom, dad, someone to help you if you can't spell the words, and you're going to write that on your paper. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our glue on the back or our tape to tape it onto our jar like this. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of tape to help me tape it on. 1 piece on each side. So I'm going to take it like this and I put the tape on the side here. 1. And then the other side, I'm going to tape it here, 2. It doesn't have to be perfect, just so when people come, they see that this is what you're saving for. Now the next part is a little bit trickier. So you're going to take your jar and you're going to flip it over so that the bottom part that's open is going to touch your paper like this, okay? So I'm going to rest it here just to show you, but you're going to lay it flat on the table, but I'm just showing you. You're going to lay it flat on the table and you're going to trace the circle around the top of your jar, okay? So I'm going to try and, what do you see here? So I've already got a circle here, but I'm going to show you down here. So you see my jars there? I'm going to trace around this part of my circle, of my jar at the top here, the circle, okay? Just like that. So now you see I've got a circle. It's not perfect, but it'll do. And then it also told us on the video that we need to make an X in the center, like that. Okay? So now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut that circle, doing my best to stay on the lines and not drop the paper, Miss Allen. Now, the next part is the hardest part. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this on the top to make sure that it fits and doesn't fall inside, and it's perfect. Doesn't fit, doesn't fall inside. So the next part's the hardest part, so you might need some help. What you're going to do is you're going to fold your paper And you're going to have to cut on these lines. You're going to have to cut on the X. So what I'm going to ask you to do is ask Mom and Dad to help. So they're going to have to fold it, and you're going to have to cut on the X lines. So I cut on the X line there, and now I'm going to have to cut on the next X line. I'm going to cut all the pieces of the X. So if you can see, I don't know how easy it's going to be to see it, but I've cut all the X pieces of the X, like that. So there's, I could stick my fingers through it. See? Okay. So then what you're going to do, you're going to lay this on top. Now, this is the part where if you have used a jar from like a pickle jar or a spaghetti noodle jar or spaghetti sauce jar, you're going to take your tape and you're just going to tape the sides down like this. You're just going to put some tape on it and tape them down. Like that, okay? But I have a lid that I can put on top, so I'm going to take my lid and I'm going to screw it down like that. So now look, it doesn't fall off, okay? So now I have created a Disney trip money jar. Now watch this. I even brought in a little money that I found on the ground. We've been cleaning up our house to get ready to move, and I found this little gem, a dime, which is worth 10 cents. I found this little gem in the laundry room. So, at the top, there's some holes there. You can just slide this bad boy in. And I have just saved us 10 cents toward our Disney trip. So, see if you guys can make one of these. And if you make one, make sure to send me a picture because I want to know what you're saving for. And I want to know how hard it was to make it. Was it easy? Was it hard? What supplies did you use? Thanks for joining me today. I had a lot of fun making this, and I hope that you guys have a lot of fun making this with your family. Maybe you guys can make some of these and earn some money while we're on this pandemic. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon.